The Appraisal Gap Addendum is an extraordinary tool for buyers to use when they feel that they really need to strengthen their offer, so much so that they're willing to pay and bring additional money to the closing table above and beyond the appraised value. The brokerage came up with this document to make sure that buyers and sellers were protected and that the terms were as clear as possible. So Section 1 lays out the appraisal premium. This is the cap, the highest amount that the buyer would need to pay above and beyond the appraised value. So this would be their maximum contribution. The document makes clear that this only comes into play when it underappraises. So the appraised value is less than the purchase price. We're also only talking about the difference between the appraised value and the purchase price, meaning that no matter how much they put in this appraisal premium, the amount paid would never exceed the purchase price. Section 2 is an important conversation to have with your client. They need to fully understand and discuss with their lender in advance that the funds accounted for with the appraisal premium are additional funds above and beyond anything that the lender is relying upon for the loan. So in the event that they need to bring additional money to the closing table, it needs to be money that the lender hasn't already earmarked for loan purposes such as down payment and such. Finally, it's important to understand how this appraisal gap addendum impacts the appraisal contingency in terms of the right to terminate. So it sets forth that if the appraised value or the difference between the appraised value and the purchase price does not exceed the appraisal premium, then the buyer waives the right to terminate the contract under the various appraisal contingencies. So for example, let's say the buyer pre-negotiates and puts down here $25,000, which is to say that if it underappraises, they would be willing to bring up to $25,000 to the closing table, above and beyond that appraised value. Let's say in this instance, it only underappraises by $10,000. Since they've already agreed to pay up to $25,000, that $10,000 will automatically be enforceable, and the buyer would need to bring that extra money to the table so that it goes up to the full purchase price. So in that instance, the buyer would not be allowed to terminate the contract under any appraisal or financing contingency. So again, this really is an extraordinary tool, but one that a lot of buyers are feeling the need to exercise. Just make sure that you fully understand and discuss all the ramifications with your clients.